As we move closer to the afternoon, though, we're going to start to see some more clouds build in. We'll see some rain like what we saw last night, some lightning out there in Toronto that Bethany got a video of. I know I saw some thunder and lightning while I was walking my dog, slowly moving out from our west. That's where it was coming from, is out west. It's going to come from that way today as well. We're starting to cool down as we have some rain out to our west that is pretty significant. You can see actually where that lighter yellow is. That's basically where the rain is. So that is what is cooling these areas down. Mid to upper 80s for your temperatures right now. We're going to see those slowly start to decrease as we move throughout the night. Since it is a clearer evening, we're going to see those temperatures dip into the mid 60s for your lows. But say you're hoping to watch some fireworks around 9 to 10 p.m., it's going to be in those mid to upper 70s. So you won't really be needing a jacket. It'll actually be pretty warm out there. Your radar, not much going on for us currently. If we zoom out a little, there's a couple areas of rain surrounding us. We may have seen some storms north of I-80 today, but nothing that has been specifically affecting our area. Our heat indexes, once again, are in those 100s. So because of that, we have that heat advisory, and some places, especially closer to cities, are going to be seeing those excessive heat warnings. So the criteria for a heat advisory means that for our area, we're that orange, which means we would have to be at 100 degrees for our heat index. And we are certainly getting there, especially over these next few days. And that does mean if you have a pup or any other animal that you like to walk outside, keep them in the grass, keep them somewhere in the shade, because see these temperatures, you can see that them for that concrete and asphalt, that's the same as our bare feet being on that. So keep walks short, keep them in shaded in areas that they're not going to be exposed to that type of heat. Our departures from normals into the work week, you can see we stay in this red to darker red, which means we're over 10 degrees above average for our temperatures. Once again, these heat indexes. Sunday, you can see we got up into above that 105 range. As we look at Monday, we'll be about the same area, just a little bit different of a curve, and same goes for Tuesday. So our heat indexes, especially in the afternoon and early evening, are going to remain above 100, maybe even above 105, especially in those urban heated areas. So we want to be aware of that. And if you are outside, be sure to stay cool, stay hydrated, avoid being outside too long, avoid excessive labor outside. The heat can be fun and it looks like it's nice, but I'd recommend getting in the pool if you have one. A majority of our area is in that yellow actually, which is the slight risk. So that's a 2 on a scale of 1 to 4. We saw a lot of that 1 this past week, and that did cause a lot of heavier rainfall, and it did lead to also that flooding that we unfortunately saw this past weekend. So these excessive rainfall risks are something to be mindful of, something to be aware of, because they do lead us to figure out if things like flooding could be taking place. Those wildfires are definitely something to be mindful of anywhere you are in Canada or the United States. This yellow here represents moderate, and that's what a majority, if not all, of our area is right now for that air quality. And this isn't quite as severe as we saw a couple years back with the wildfires that were on the eastern side of Canada. Since these ones are a little bit further away, they're not affecting us as much, but if you're somebody that's sensitive to this type of thing, it's definitely something to watch for. Wheeling, actively seeing some flooding. They have a flash flood warning that is until 11 p.m. That could be extended if we start to see some more rain or some more flooding. We do have some closures due to this flooding we're seeing right now, and you can see another area of rain is actually moving into the area currently. National Road near 40 is actually where we're seeing the biggest closure. It's between the Taco Bell and CVS in that area actively. That is where we are seeing a big road closure, and there are rescue teams out there actively for any cars stuck in the area. Peters Run and also Battle Run are two other areas that are also seeing that flooding and are also probably blocked off due to that rain right now. We're seeing the area that caused that flooding move into the Washington and Canonsburg area of Pennsylvania currently. Over the last hour, areas have seen 2 inches of rain approximately, and that's actually how much rain some areas have seen over the last 24 hours. So that shows you just how prominent this rain has been in the last hour or so in these areas. And that is that localized heavy rain that we have been talking about throughout the day. Earlier we mentioned how that could lead to this flooding. So as you can see, it's something to take seriously when we see things such as these excessive rainfall risks. As we move into tomorrow, that risk actually does increase to a slight, and we may not be seeing as much rain as we've been seeing tomorrow, maybe pretty comparable to what we saw today at some points in the day. But as that rain has built up over the last few days, that is when we start to see this flooding and things things along those lines happening. So that's why we have that risk in effect and why it increases tomorrow. But as we move into Monday, we start to see that risk decrease, but that could pick up if we continuously see this pattern of the rain consistently throughout the days and when it is local. But we are seeing more rain move into our area, and we do still have those flash flood warnings in effect, specifically in Ohio County. Those have been extended until 1 a.m. They were originally supposed to expire at 11 p.m., but due to the fact that there is more rain moving in the area and it does look like it could be heavier at times, we are seeing that warning be extended until 1 a.m. And once again, if more rain moves in, we'll see that even extend. Little Wheeling Creek is at 10 feet right now, and the flooding stage begins at 7 feet, and those water levels are continuing to rise. So we are still seeing active flooding, and it is going to affect areas that are nearby. We're also seeing Peters Run close for the most part, and we have seen reports of cars being stuck in places such as Battle Run Road. The flooding also is extending into parts of Washington, PA, and Canonsburg, PA. We're seeing flood warnings there as well. Good evening, I'm Hannah George. Just some cumulus clouds out there right now. Those are due to a stationary boundary we're seeing kind of wedged between Pittsburgh and Morgantown at the moment. So just some clouds out there. Our temperature is currently in the mid 80s, so a tiny bit above average. Average is in those low 80s usually. We're still pretty muggy out there as well. We were in that instant sweat zone for a lot of the day. We're slowly starting to see that kind of fluctuate as it slowly moves down. As we start your work week, we're still going to be pretty muggy out there. We see the middle of the week kind of start to dip down, but still not in that refreshing or pleasant zone. We're still feeling a lot of that moisture and humidity out there. Your radar clear for the most part. A couple showers that are a bit patchy out there right now. Overnight, that does clear out. We start to see that cloud cover mix around, clear in some areas, then it really starts to build up as we move into Monday. Monday morning, a slight chance for some showers, but what we want to watch for is around noon, we'll start to see these showers kind of pick up, and those could be severe at times. We could be seeing heavier downpours and damaging winds. Those are the two main threats we're going to watch for. With this area of rain that moves throughout the evening, you're going to see that orange and red there. That does mean severe. That does mean we're going to see some storms possibly associated with that, so be aware of that. Overnight, that does clear out. Tuesday, more cloud cover builds in. The rain we're going to be seeing Tuesday, we're going to see that again in the evening. Again, that could have heavier downpours with it and severe weather associated with it. The thing with that one, though, is it's going to move a little bit quicker because it's due to a tropical air mass. So that one will move out and we won't see a lot of flood areas to watch for with that one. So that one Tuesday, not much risk of flooding or any of that excessive rainfall. Monday, though, is when we're going to see a lot more of the rainfall that could be heavier at times and could be really heavy over hours. So we could see up to an inch of rain for in some places over just the span of an hour. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that for you guys. But like I said, Tuesday, that one moves through pretty quickly, even though it will be heavier at times. Obviously, not much going on with your UV right now. As we start your work week, things really start to pick back up. By the end of your week, we're looking at a really good second half to your week there. We're going to see those very high UVs. It's going to be very sunny. So if you are outside, which I'm sure you will be, we have Independence Day coming up here on Friday. It's going to be sunny. Make sure to wear some sunscreen if you're heading out anywhere. So tonight, another warm night. We're going to see those clouds insulate us in. There is a chance for some patchy fog tonight, but with the clouds that are going to build in as we approach the morning, that should start to clear out. Sunday, your highs a little bit warmer, almost at that 90-degree mark, but we will be sitting at 88. Pretty sunny out there during the morning, but as clouds move in, that rain moves in, it will start to get obviously a little bit cloudier, and we're going to watch for that rain. Sunday night, rain does continue. That won't move out until the early morning, late night, whatever you want to call that period. So between 3 a.m. is when we're going to really start to see that rain clear out. But Tuesday, it builds back in again. Tuesday, your highs are pretty average, and we're going to see an average night as well on Tuesday. Wednesday, things pick back up. We're going to be a tiny bit above average for the rest of your work week. And your Independence Day on Friday, July 4th, is looking great. We're seeing those highs in the mid-80s. It's actually slowly getting warmer as we move closer to the day. Mostly sunny out there and 0% chance of rain. Today, officials met at the Millstop Community Center in Weirton to discuss plans for the upcoming 4th of July celebrations. Here's what they had to say.
We have a lot of activities planned. We have music, entertainment, food trucks, craft vendors, balloon animals, face painting, games for kids, prizes for kids, so just an entire evening of fun for them.
It's going to be a community celebration, and rather than come down early for a parade and come back later, because we have a symphony at that evening as well. So this gets the people here. They can spend the evening. A lot of events for the kids to enjoy, and then the symphony, and then we'll have the fireworks following that.
This year's celebrations will take place on Saturday, July 5th, going from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. Reporting live in Weirton, I'm Hannah George, News 9. The 4th of July weekend is one of the busiest times of year on the water and one of the most dangerous. According to the U.S. Coast Guard, alcohol remains the leading cause of fatal boating accidents. That's why the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District is launching a campaign aimed at saving lives. Operation Dry Water is a year-round initiative focused on boating safety, with a national enforcement push during the July holiday. From July 4th through the 6th, MWCD Rangers will increase patrols and perform safety checks at public boat launches on Atwood, Seneca, and Piedmont lakes.
One of the best things about the 4th of July is being outside, being at the campground, being on the lake, and being on a boat is so fun. And so we just want to ensure that everyone's having a really fun time and doing it safely.
Last year alone, the Operation Dry Water campaign involved more than 7,000 officers nationwide, resulting in nearly 100,000 vessel checks and almost 600 BUI arrests. But locally, MWCD says it's more about prevention than punishment.
I'm grateful that the state of Ohio has taken initiative and becoming very involved with this campaign. Because you don't want to wait until it's a real issue for you to get involved. Heightening awareness around it is what helps us to prevent accidents from happening.
Boating with a blood alcohol content over 0.08 is illegal in Ohio. And with added factors during the summer, experts say impairment becomes even more dangerous. To help promote safe boating, MWCD is offering free vessel safety checks throughout the weekend, making sure people have the proper equipment before heading out. MWCD is also hosting fireworks shows and other events around its lakes, and they're encouraging people to get involved and enjoy the weekend responsibly. Operation Dry Water officially runs from July 4th through the 6th. For more information and safety tips, visit mwcd.org. Reporting from Steubenville, I'm Hannah George, News 9. Back to school season is right around the corner, and Brooke County is making sure every student has what they need to succeed.
This whole week, this is our annual Stuff-A-Bus.
Every day this week, student athletes from Brooke County schools are helping collect supplies from backpacks to notebooks to make sure no student is left without the essentials.
Every 3 hours for each day, I have a different sport. Right now, we have Brooke Middle School football. This morning, we had Brooke High School boys basketball. And throughout the week, each time frame, we have different sports helping me run this.
The supplies are donated by community members and local businesses, and it's all headed to students during a special event later this summer.
Local community businesses or even community members, they bring in donations for the Stuff-A-Bus. We take that at the end of the week on Friday. We drive the bus straight down to the high school, and we store it there until our August 7th back-to-school bash.
That's when the real giving begins. Each item donated is handed directly to students in need.
Backpacks, notebooks, pens, papers, so everything donated here we give to the kids as they come through a line and donate it right back to our Brooke County School students.
The event is about more than just supplies. It's a chance for students and the community to come together and support each other.
And it's important to include the athletes in it so that we can give back to the community, and then they're also helping in the same aspect.
Donors will also receive thank you cards as a small token of appreciation. Brooke County Schools hopes that generosity now will help local students start the year strong. You can donate in the parking lot of the Board of Education through July 11th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reporting from Brooke County, I'm Hannah George, News 9. Penn State will pay over $1 million to settle allegations that it failed to meet cybersecurity standards in contracts with the Department of Defense and NASA. The U.S. Attorney's Office says the university didn't fully comply with cybersecurity rules between 2018 and 2023. The Dean Martin Festival kicks off today, and if you're looking to learn more about the Steubenville superstar, the Dean Martin Room at the Jefferson County Historical Museum has all you'll need to know. From platinum records to vintage posters, the Dean Martin Room is packed with memories of one of Steubenville's most beloved icons. And over the next few days, fans from around the country are stopping in to experience it for themselves.
This is like a Mecca to me. I'm a Sicilian American, Italian American, listened to Dean Martin my entire life.
John D'Amico traveled from Tampa with friends for the festival, making Steubenville the final stop on a cross-state adventure.
Every year we try and do a trip, something different. And he said, hey, let's do a baseball game in Cleveland and head down to Steubenville. And so it was a fantastic trip. I mean, this is a great finale to a fantastic trip.
Dean Martin was born and raised just blocks away from the museum. His legacy lives on through fans and through rooms like this one, where his music and memories line every wall.
We're real, happy when the Dean Martin Festival comes around. We get a lot of visitors, and everyone seems to enjoy themselves.
Milko says it's not just the memorabilia that keeps people coming, it's the magnitude of Dean's fame and what he meant to music, movies, and the city itself.
He was the #1 entertainer probably in the world for several years. And I think it's a good idea to showcase him. And as time goes on, there won't ever be another Dean Martin, but you could come to Steubenville and see what he was all about.
The Dean Martin Room is also staffed by passionate volunteers, like Keith Johnson, who helps keep Dino's story alive.
You're always seeing his talent come out. You're always discovering something new that Dean could do.
Now, the Dean Martin Room at the museum starts at 10 a.m. every day for an open house. But there's events throughout Steubenville the entire weekend. Reporting from Steubenville, I'm Hannah George, News 9. The Miss Ohio competition is taking place in just a couple weeks. One of the contestants hails from right here in the Valley, and we got a chance to speak to Madeline. At first glance, Madeline Anderson's story might sound like a pageant classic, small-town girl with a crown and a cause. But this 21-year-old from Toronto, Ohio, is redefining what beauty looks like on and off the stage.
Current beauty standard, the current idea of beauty is surrounding perfection. And my own idea is that it's about authenticity and vulnerability.
She's now using her platform as a Miss Ohio contestant and ambassador for the Vascular Birthmarks Foundation to call out unrealistic expectations and build a new conversation around self-worth.
Changing that idea, creating systemic change surrounding the idea of beauty to authenticity will make it more achievable and relatable for everyone.
Anderson says her path towards the Miss Ohio competition started when she served as Jefferson County Fair Queen a few years back. A compliment from a former Miss Ohio gave her the push to keep going.
When I went to Ohio Fairs Queen, the current Miss Ohio, Laura Current, told me that it seemed like I had such a passion and drive for community service, and I was a small town girl with a great story.
And it's that story, one of perseverance, purpose, and power in imperfection, that's guiding her campaign and inspiring others to embrace what makes them different. The competition will be held in Mansfield, Ohio, June 18th through the 21st. Reporting from Toronto, I'm Hannah George, News 9.